My real name, my boy name, is Ryan Tyrrell, and my drag name is Pussy Drips. It was a name that was given to me. Like, I got asked to do a show, like, as a favor, and when I got on stage, I'm like, I don't have a name, and someone yelled out, Pussy Grips. I don't know where that came from, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use that, and then somewhere in that first night, it changed to Pussy Drips. I don't remember how, but so that's kind of how the name came about. I'm from Syracuse originally, lived here pretty much my whole life, and I work a full-time day job, but like at night and weekends, like drag is my thing. New York is so close, and like I would love to go perform there, and I've been there, and I've been there in drag, and the shows are great, and there's so much talent there, and there's so much creativity, which is something you don't get too much of here in Syracuse. So I would like to venture out of Syracuse more with Pussy Drips and take her to other places. I love everybody and I love the drag scene here, but there are limitations to what you see here. You know, I mean, it's a fairly small community, and I feel like honestly, like sometimes the people who are too different kind of get shunned and like aren't necessarily given an opportunity to like show off their creativity. I hear it all every day. Drag is mainstream now, and it is to a certain degree. I still think that, I mean, even though it's 2017, there's a lot of people who maybe aren't exposed to it, but also people who like don't accept it, which doesn't matter because that doesn't change the fact if it's mainstream or not. But it is crazy to see what drag has become. There's definitely a big change from like what it was then to now. It was very underground. It was very contained to clubs. Like that was the whole drag scene. Like you had to go to clubs to see drag shows. But now you can go on the internet and see them. You can go on TV and see them. What people suspect might be an issue is that because there's so much of it now, people don't have to come to the clubs every week, you know. And maybe the club shows do suffer a little bit. You know, I think we got a good turnout here. We get a good turnout, but you never know what you're gonna get. Every night's different. I think Syracuse overall is a pretty conservative city. Being so focused on the audience, sometimes you kind of lose yourself. It's always a constant battle, I feel like. I have songs and performances and outfits and things I wanna do and I wanna wear, but I have to kind of like hold back, and I'm like, you know what, I really want to do this and I think it'd be great and I should be able to, and it's not that I wouldn't, but sometimes you just have to be like, well, you have to cater to the crowd you're performing for. And as I said, Syracuse is a fairly conservative city. Sometimes they just don't get it. I think that's like Syracuse in general, like people, they just don't get it. I just think that's kind of the issue working and living in a somewhat smaller city. I always have this thought in the back of my mind that like maybe it's still too early for us to assume that everybody will be accepting of everything. I don't expect everyone to accept it because my whole thing is like I'm raunchy, I'm dirty, and like that's just my character. That's just, you know, what comes across and what I enjoy doing. I think that's why drag is so fun for me, because there are no rules. I can go out there and I can do what I want, but you would never catch me as a guy doing the things that I do here on stage. But anyway, I mean, I'd say overall there's a pretty good reception to not just my character, but drag in general. As a drag queen, if we're not offending people, we're not doing our job. And I kind of love that, and I love to live by that. It's fun. It's just fun being out there and like doing your thing and just not caring, just doing whatever you feel in the moment, and who cares? Like, you know, if this person has a problem with it, like I don't give a shit, because like this is my time, I'm on stage, this is all about me right now. So I keep my personal life, well, my like guy life, very separate. I have this professional life that I live during the day, and I think that's what the fun thing is yes, I get to be creative during the day, and I still get to continue that creativity, but in a different way, in a different medium. Such a huge part of drag is its marketing. I mean, you're building a character and you're trying to market yourself. You want to build a following, you want to build an audience. My overall confidence, like just as a guy, has kind of changed with drag. Kind of shy as a guy. I guess the one thing about drag is like, and one thing I love about it is just the acceptance. Like people love you. I don't want to say that people don't love and accept me as a guy, but like you don't get to experience it in the same way. And it's something that really makes you feel good about yourself. It's definitely a confidence booster. Like you walk into a place and people just immediately look at you, and people scream your name, and people like, I don't know, it's just, and you go out on the stage and you perform and people love it, and people throw money at you and they applaud, and people come up to you and act like you are like some A-list celebrity sometimes. I think that's like one of the biggest things I love about drag, you know? Whether I got paid for it or not, I just love being out there. I like the entertaining, but also just to get the love from people. Like, it's really cool.